Welcome back to another episode of Just My Baby Daddy podcast. It's your favorite baby daddy, AJ. And today we have one of my favorite content creators because he makes the type of content that I love. Talks about 2000s R&B and titties. I mean, like, it's a combination, especially if you take me back to the 2000s, and nothing I loved more than titties. You know what I mean? And so we have a special guest, Mr. Bankshot, on the podcast. Appreciate you being on the podcast today, brother.
Hey man, AJ, it's an honor to be here, man. That's funny. 2000 R&B and titties. That's my favorite thing too.
I mean, but yeah, it shows. Listen, once
Yeah,
I heard the music and then I saw the titties, I was like,
yeah.
oh no, I didn't even know the rest of it. But then, yeah, that was absolutely perfect. Look, it is on the shirt. Like, what are we talking
Come
about?
on, you know what I mean? We here, man. We here. It's Tuesday.
Hello, titty. Like, this is
Come
what I'm
on,
talking about.
come
Yeah.
on.
So, but before we get started, like, I really want to say I appreciate you taking the time to getting on here, and I know you have a newborn, so I know time is extremely precious for you right now. So before we get started, I'm gonna start you off with the first question I ask every guest. What does it mean to you to be a father?
Man, that's a tough question to ask because it still is surreal that I am a dad. I honestly ain't think I was gonna have kids. Not because I couldn't.
Mm,
Just dealing with certain people and whatnot. You're like, you know what? I think I like this lifestyle of just me doing, my own thing without having to really be locked down. I got three siblings. My older two sisters got three kids. My youngest brother got three kids. And yeah, man, I'm still taking it in, man. Being a father, though, if I had to really put it in words, man, it's just all about, it ain't about you no more. It's just about making sure that he is just as, man, taken care of as he needs to be, man. It's definitely a switch up going from just, the freedom I had just to be able to move and groove. I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I love that little boy, like, man, and that's so crazy. Like I'll be like, dang, I'll be telling my lady, like, man, I love him more than I love you, and I done known you longer than him. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but yeah, man, it's beautiful, man. It's different. It's beautiful. I'm still learning. I'm still growing in that role. Still trying to get adjusted to that, but it's dope, man. It's dope.
So with that, do you feel like it was a natural thing, or do you feel like, like as soon as it happened, I feel my instinct coming over? Who taught you how to be a dad?
Man, I grew up without my dad, man. So throughout my life, I've had, uncles and sisters, boyfriends who would come in and kind of be like a father figure role. Honestly, I think I would give it to the military. 'Cause I was in the military. I give it to the military on the discipline aspect and my coaches in football just growing up. Coaches always took like a liking to me because I was coachable. I wasn't like the most athletic, but coaches rock with you if they can be like, hey, I'll tell you what to do and you do it. That's what I like. You know what I mean? That's what I appreciate. A lot of it is just learning. I am a person that does care about other people a lot. I'm a great host. You come to my crib, I'm gonna make sure, I'm cleaning up, I'm gonna cook for you, I'm gonna make sure everything is just how it's supposed to be. I like to take care of other people. So it's like 100 times that because now I'm taking care of somebody that came from me. So it's I don't want to say it's easy, but it ain't difficult. It just take up a lot of time.
What? So no challenges arrived so far?
Challenges? I mean, outside of me wanting to, do certain things, I might be sitting there editing a video or trying to do something, and my lady, she work from home too, so she might have like a work call. So I got to stop what I'm doing, go get him, and
Yeah.
just make sure he cool. But outside of that, man, he 3 months. He'll be 4 months and 5 days here. Man, he easy going for the most part. He get a little cranky, but it don't be nothing crazy. Like,
Two parts then. Especially when you said you didn't expect that you could be a father. Two things to that. What was it like when you first found out that you're about to be a father? And then what was it like the first time you held your baby?
so the first time I found out I was gonna be a father, it wasn't even like a found out. When I first got with my lady, I'm 37 now, she's 41. But it was like a conversation of like, hey, I want to have a child and I'm going to go to the sperm bank and do what I need to do. I already done been to the fertility clinic, got my eggs and stuff checked out. So she was gonna have a child no matter what. I liked her so much to the point where I wasn't trying to raise no random dude's child. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Like, let's do it. I ain't got no kids. You ain't got no kids. And we was already in the process of trying to do that. So it was like, we tried for 3 months just straight, sex. It wasn't working. And for whatever reasons, like I said, my sperm got tested. I got flying colors. It's still swimming. Her eggs was good, but just for some reason it wasn't working. Then we did IUI. That's where they take my sperm, put it in a catheter. They inject it in there. We did that for 3 months. That ain't work. So then IVF, they take the eggs out, take my sperm, put it in a Tupperware dish.
Yeah.
They swim around, connect. So
Boy, I ain't heard people say it like that in a long time in the Tupperware dish.
the Tupperware
Yeah.
dish, a little Tupperware get to swimming around. You know what I mean? And,
Come
we
on,
had
man. You can't
a.
say it like that. That's going back to test tube babies. Like they can't we can't
I mean, that's what they be saying. I never knew nothing about none of this, man. Like, I didn't even know, like, when it comes to, like, church, like, they frown upon that because it's not, like, natural, and that's not what God, you know what I mean? Like, you kinda going around God's back. That's how they painted it. I'm like, "Man, I don't
Yeah.
think so." If
Yeah.
I gotta go to hell for that, then, I mean, damn.
For bringing a baby into the world, like, yeah. Okay.
That's crazy. So, yeah, I didn't get that experience of, like, you're gonna be there. Now, when we
I
found
had
out she
no
was
idea.
pregnant, yeah, it was like, oh, but it was trial and error. We tried with a girl embryo. That one didn't take. So when the boy happened, and I think that was also God because all my siblings, their first kid was a boy. So it just makes sense that my first son was a boy, or my first child was a boy. But the first time I hold my son, man, that shit was crazy. Now that was crazy. That was you can't even put it into words, man. You just you thankful that, he's healthy. You sitting there waiting the longest 5 seconds ever to hear the baby cry, then he cry. And then I'm also thankful that, she was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
as long as she was okay, he's okay. Then, but yeah, it was, man, it was a lot of emotions. You know what I mean? A lot of emotions. I cried a little bit, and she be getting on me all the time. Like, I ain't even see you cry. I'm like, I ain't gonna cry in front of you, but I did cry a little bit. Like, I cried. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, it was one of the greatest feelings ever. I don't think I've ever experienced nothing close to hold my son for the first time.
So, and let me ask you this too. With you having such a young child, and I notice a lot of times people, especially with their young children, they do not put them on social media. What was that like a conversation, something that you were discussing, or you just like, no, I'm
Mm-mm.
always on social, so this is just what it is. How I am.
I don't understand the concept behind not putting your child. I think if people don't want to put their child online, it's just because they ugly and they don't want the world to make fun of them. That's the only thing I can think of. Because like if like you put yourself online, I don't understand what's the difference. Like people can find out any type of information. I don't get it. You want to put the emoji on them. I'm not doing that. We setting him up. We done signed him up to be able to do like acting in movies. My lady done set him up a little website, link to her website, so if people wanted to book him for
Baby
baby
commercials and
sponsorship, yeah,
everything.
commercials, like all that. You know what I mean? Like, what's the me and her live in that environment. Like she works in entertainment. I am a comedian. What would that look like to be like, nah, we ain't gonna put you out here for the
Yeah.
world to see. So we talked about it, but we didn't. It was like are you okay? If
Just yeah.
yeah, and that's all that
Yeah.
was.
So with you being a comedian, you're on the road too, right? So how is that being a new dad and it sound and I can see it, I can hear it, all the excitement is there about being a dad, right? But then you gotta provide for the family, right? So how was that? How especially the first time you had to leave.
And the first time I had to leave, I strategically set it up to where he was born on November 15th. I was like, I don't want no more shows until I had the headline. I'm from a small city called Elyria, Ohio. It's like right next to Cleveland. So I headlined for the first time in Cleveland on the Alpha's Founders Day on December 4th. So I strategically was like, all right, cool, let me be home for 3 weeks. Her mom stayed in town for like, I want to say like maybe like a month and a half. So she had that, but I'm just like I'm gonna get it done. You know what I mean? Like I don't even like she'll let him like cry and stuff, but like I'll be needing to focus. I'll be like, hey, come here, man. You know what I mean? Calm him down, whatever the case is. I think I don't want to say I think I make it sometimes tougher on her because I'm willing to do everything. Like I'm doing everything before she even is thinking about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wake up in the morning, I'm making sure all the bottles is clean. I'm, making sure the diapers is stocked. I'm just doing everything before she can even get to it. So when I'm gone, I sometimes be like worried on some like, oh man, hey, remember to do this, remember to do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, he recognizes me on FaceTime, which is cool. You know what I mean? So he'll get the smile on FaceTime. So it's like, all right, he recognizes now. Yeah, whenever I do shows, so I'll be balling on a budget, so I still fly Frontier, so I have to leave like a day before just in case they cancel the flight and I can
Right.
still get to my destination. But after that, after my show's done, I'm right back home. Like the first thing smoking out, I'm gone. I'll be right back. So it don't. I think the longest I've been going is like 4 days so far, and that was tough. Usually it's 1, 2 days max, but that 4 days was like it was tough. It was tough.
So, and I know he's still young, so it's all these little moments are happening all the time, right? So, what is one little moment that actually surprised you? And you was like, "This is really kind of cool." I was excited by this, and I had no idea because it happens, right? Little stupid stuff gets you excited all of a sudden. Like I never knew a baby turning over really meant anything, but all of a sudden it's like the baby turns like, oh, people are like, but it happens, and I never thought, especially me, I'm not that person. But let
Yeah,
my
yeah.
baby do some shit, I'm like, look at my baby, like that just happens, right? So what little moments like that happen to you?
And the turning over is actually one of them, only because we took him to his 2-month appointment, and the his doctor was being off rough with him, and she laid him on his stomach, and she's like, "Let's see what you can do. What can you do?" And he flipped over, and we looking like, "Oh." Then she did it. She put him on his stomach again. He flipped back over again. We like, oh. Man, we
Yeah,
took that nigga home, put him on his stomach. That nigga ain't did that shit since, man. I'm like, oh, this nigga, what the hell, man? We
yeah.
trying to get him to flip. The smiling, when he first started smiling, that was cool. He just started like giggling a little bit, probably like 2, 3 days ago. That was cool. And then I was making some noise, man. It's silly, but like you said, it's the silliest stuff.
It's a
I was
silly,
like,
it's a silly.
I was like, and then you see him, he like, I'm like, oh, like he trying to do it. Like she recorded it. We like, oh, like what he got going on? Like I don't know. He be advanced. He be holding his bottle. We be like, damn,
Yeah.
like 3 months holding the bottle. So it's really just the most little shit, bro. That just gets me excited.
So with that, all the little stuff, right? Do you ever get wary about the bigger things that come along? Because that's one thing that happens when we first have the kids. Like we get all excited, and then it's that moment of, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I got to make sure that this is in place, that is in place, that is in place. Like you start thinking too much about the future. Has that hit you? Anything like that happen?
Yeah, I be thinking about just me being 37 and him, being fresh when he's, you know, 16, 18. I'll be 53, 55, and I'm just be like, I need to make sure that I'm in shape to be able to run around with this nigga and be able to, keep up with it. I would hate for my son to like beat my ass one day and I can't defend myself because I'm just like out of shape. I'll be thinking about that. I'll be thinking about I do love the fact me and her both work from home, so we don't gotta go through the whole daycare, stuff like that. But then we also have to figure out certain kids to get him around so he's not too sheltered. And that's just like a 3 to 5 year old thing. I'm trying to, man. One thing, man, I don't even know if it's just a lot going on in the world, and I want him to be able to make whatever decisions that he wants to make, but
Yeah,
it's also just about keeping him, censored from certain stuff that he don't need to be exposed to
yeah,
at a certain age, just because me and her be on the same page about pretty much everything, and we don't want him to be too exposed to just a lot of the nonsense that you can pick up your phone and see. So it's a concern, but I'm also one of the people that's like, it ain't a problem until it's a problem. So I don't even
right.
try to focus on that. I just let it be what it's gonna be and just do everything that I can to make sure that he'll be set up how he's supposed to be.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: in about 2 or 3 years, that whole well, we both work from home. We ain't got to worry about daycare. You both work from home. You're gonna want daycare.
Man,
Trust
everybody
me.
said that.
Trust
Everybody
me.
said
Yeah,
that.
because what do you need daycare for right now? To watch a sleeping baby? You don't need
Right.
that. But when that baby, you trying to like, oh yeah, yeah, I just put him on my lap and it touch. Yeah, okay. What about when
Yeah.
they even start kicking you in your nuts and all that stuff? Where you like, yeah, yeah, you ain't got none of that right now. You know what I mean? You ain't have none of those issues right now. The baby's not
Yeah.
moving. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is such a sweet, easy. Think about it. Think about your personality. You think your baby's gonna just be, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here, dad, and watch you two work.
Nah. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So you
true.
might as well start thinking about everybody's telling you that for a reason.
How do
Work from
you how do you
home.
how do you scout a good daycare though? Like how you just go based on reviews?
I'm trying to think when I looked around for a daycare. One is it has to be convenient that I can get to at any time. Like as I work from home, I don't need to have the baby here, but I need to be able that at any moment I can get directly to my daughter. I need to make sure that the security around the place is good. I got to make sure that, not just anybody can just walk in and out of there. Uh, and things are different because one of my oldest two, they went to at home daycare. So I had to make sure that everything was up to par standards and like she had all the certifications, she had all of her everything, right? I know they pretty much have that at the facility that they go to. But I want to make sure, okay, what food are you giving them? Because at their place, in home daycare, I know they're getting real nutritional meals, right? She's cooking the food. She's giving us the menu. She's giving that.
Mm,
There at the other one, they just give you the same Cheerios and shit that the rest of these kids are getting. Location for me is a huge thing. I do not want a daycare where I have to travel 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get there because if at any moment something happens to my daughter, I gotta be there. Like there's no hesitation, no question. Hey, she fell down and busted her lip. I'm just letting you know she's okay. Well, let me make sure. And I'm gonna
right.
come pick her ass right on up. Like
Yeah, that's smart.
that
Okay.
and the security of it. Because you don't know who everybody is around here, right? You don't want these people where they can just come in and out of the daycare or anybody can just come in or they take them out
Right.
in closed facility. Like, all of that stuff mattered. All of that stuff mattered. But also don't get freaked out because every daycare has something wrong with it. Every single one. So somebody's going to say something's wrong with it at every single one. So you got to go in there, trust your gut, whatever feels right, go along with it. But also you got to look at another thing that I looked for was who is the people that's actually running the daycare. I want I want a my kids to have a certain level of culture still. You know what I mean? In their daycare, everybody in them motherfucker just like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that kind of matters to me
Yeah,
at
for
least.
sure. Out here in Atlanta, a lot of the strippers are starting to make daycares. So
Yeah, but they
yeah,
also selling their babies for tax time right about now. So what advice would you give to someone that's in your position that's just having a child that is still on their grind and has to spend time away from home and just don't know how to really shake that feeling? Because you said it was tough, but you got through it. You just pushed on through. But in those moments, those tough moments, how do you push through that?
I think the advice I would give is just do as much as you can. And this is strictly advice I would give to somebody who is, still in the household with the other parent. Or I mean, even if you kind of just I guess, separate maybe I live in separate places, but just have a child together. Man, just I make sure that I set him and her up for everything that they would need for as long as possible. You know what I mean? I know bottles is gonna get dirty and stuff, but set them up for whatever they need. So that way while you're gone, you know that they're gonna be good, as far as if she gonna be taking care of him, make sure that there's some easily fixable meals for her, something that she can either just pop into the microwave or just throw into the oven or cook, and then she could just go in there and reheat it up. Make sure when you are home, be engaged, with your kid, so that way he
Yeah,
knows you when he comes back. You know what I mean? I feel like you can get kind of busy with work and doing other things where you don't take that time to play with them or just sit with them, feed them. You know what I mean? We had a dope schedule before he started sleeping through the night, because now he sleeps through the night a little better. But we was doing, if I fed him and he goes to sleep, because we had to do that every 3 hours. So it's like, I'll feed him, she'll feed him next. That way I'll get, a nice little 5 hours, then she'll get 5 hours. We was rotating like that. So that was cool. And have a support system. Have a support system. Now, this is one thing I do harp on her about. Like, she got, she a Delta, she got all these line sisters and she got, a bunch of friends. Hey, when I'm not here, I will literally text her friends for her. Like, hey man, make sure you
So yeah, okay,
check on
yeah,
her while I'm gone. You know what I mean? Check on her while
yeah.
while I'm gone. Cause she'd be like, nah, I'm good. I don't need them. Okay, I got you, babe. Don't worry about it. Hey, check on her while I'm gone. Just, make sure she's cool. Stop by the house, whatever the case is. Now, one thing that people tend to do is they like to give advice on what they would do. And, we're not asking for that. Like we don't want your advice. Don't give us advice on how
Yeah.
you will raise your kids. You know, my godmom, she would come over and he sound congested. She want to get this nigga a cap full of ginger ale. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Too
This is
much.
not 1980. No, you're not about to
Yeah,
harm the baby. Times is different now. They got stuff that you can
yeah.
give them if he's congested. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's my advice, man. Make sure they set up how they need to be set up. Make sure food is easily, ready for the lady. So she ain't got to be trying to cook while the baby in there crying and whatnot. And lean on your village, lean on your community. Just not even just to come through and help, but just to be able to talk. I think also with me and her living together, we do a lot of talking to. She does a lot of talking, and I'm just listening. But it's like some of that shit, I don't necessarily want to hear. So
Yeah.
hop on the phone with one of your homegirls and talk to them about it because I don't, I don't talk a lot out loud about my feelings or things I got going on. I'm just trying to implement and do what I need to be done, and I got all these things running in my head, and I really ain't got time to also hear the unnecessaries.
Bullshit.
Now, the bullshit, you know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
shit cool, but the
The
bullshit's no, I
bullshit's
don't.
not. Yeah.
Not the bullshits. Talk to them about the bullshits. Give me what we need. Yeah, that's my advice, man.
And so, and one more thing, because someone in your position, I've been in that position. I'm in that position as well, right? What would you tell a father that grew up without a father, like, and is trying to now navigate, especially a son? Because when you first look at that son, you now see like a reflection of yourself. And if you were to think back, then if you were dad, like you're a reflection of him, but he wasn't. You don't really know what that's like because he wasn't there. What would you say to that?
Man, what would I say to somebody who grew up without a father who just became a father? Good luck. Nah, nah, nah. I would say do the work. Do the work. And by the work, I mean, go to therapy. Unpack that. There was a lot of stuff that I
Mhm.
didn't unpack that I didn't even know was like a thing. I went to therapy heavy back in like 2021, and there was a lot of stuff, man, that I had no idea that was in there. You know what I mean? So just doing that is very helpful. Have mentors, have people in your circle who are fathers, are either in a relationship with the mother of the child or have a healthy relationship with the mother of the child, as far as like, co-parenting and all that goes. And pick your partner wisely. I think that is like the most ultimate thing. You gotta pick your partner wisely. I was out the game. I was not trying to do nothing. I was out here just slanging and banging. And I was like, I don't want that. But I ran into her and we had met, she booked me for a gig. Our first time meeting, she booked me for a gig back in 2018. That was our first time meeting. And then I ran into her again in 2023. We reconnected, start dating. And then it was like, cool. Certain ways I would go about doing certain stuff in other relationships. It don't fly over here. Like you get
Yeah.
into an argument, voice is escalating. If my voice escalates, you're like, Nick, like I'm not yelling. Like we can just talk. We don't have to. I'm like, oh, damn, that's we can't just have a conversation without it actually. We raising our voices and calling each other bitch ass niggas and hoe ass. We ain't gotta do all that. Like you know what I mean. So that's one thing that I actually love, that we can actually communicate. She'll come in and just like, check on me. Like, hey, how you doing? You okay? Like, you doing all right? Da da da. We go to couples therapy now just to make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be. And, we might keep notes leading up to our appointment. And then when we get there, we can, talk our shit and get it out in a safe environment. I started following a lot of like, dad content, you know what I mean, on Instagram. I done changed and got some of the titty stuff out of there. And now it's just more dad stuff. So that way I can just be in the know of, certain things to do.
Yeah.
they got like a dad. Like I don't know if it's monthly, weekly, something like that. But like all the black dads out here in Atlanta, they link up with their kids and they go for
Strollers.
like a little walk.
Yeah, the dad, like they have the dad stroller club and all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
I
they
think
got it here in DC too.
okay. Oh, then that's dope.
Yeah.
So I think something like that would be cool, but I think my only issue with that is like I just want to go and do that. Like I just want to go and mingle and be like a regular person. I don't want to have to go through the whole hoopla of like, oh, bro, hey man, you so funny, bro. Hey man, I got this idea, right? Like I'm trying to, like, bro, I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. Like
Yeah.
I just want to go do that and that be that. But I don't have all the answers. Like I said, just me being 3 months in and not having a dad grow up. I just know what I don't want him to have to go through. I just know what that feeling is like. So as long as I take care of myself and I'm there for him, I think everything is gonna be perfectly fine. But I think that's the most important thing is to take care of yourself so that way you are prepared to lead. I think majority that's all being a father is just leading somebody in a healthy manner and protecting them and providing for them and teaching them right from wrong and how to become a man and be successful and navigate trials and tribulations. I think it's pretty much I'm gonna teach you everything that I learned and just don't do the things that I, fucked up on. I think that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and because I was on get to our last question was the legacy question. But before
Mm.
I get to that, you brought up something very, very interesting that um I don't know if you thought about. I'm pretty sure you probably have because you brought up the fact that you can't go out to like the dad soda club and just be a regular dad. I can do all kind of practices. I'm just all right. I can really got that way, right? But what is going to happen? Have you been out with like your son and someone has stopped you and approached you or things like that? Like, have you had that type of thing like come up to you?
Now we
Or are
ain't
you
been
prepared?
out.
Are you prepared for that?
It hasn't even crossed my mind, honestly. My lady been getting on me about like, we need to go on a date. We need to go on a date. And I'm just, my whole thing is like, man, I ain't trying to go nowhere. And he get to crying and then we fucking up the whole vibe of the restaurant and everybody looking at us. You know what I mean? Like that's my biggest thing because I be on planes and in restaurants and I be like, but now it's different now because now I
Yeah,
understand like, it's okay. He's just a baby. I get it now. But
yeah.
only place that we have been taking him really is like his appointments. Her and her line sister, they'll go on walks. Like Saturday morning, they'll go on like to the park and they'll just like walk. But I haven't been anywhere with him. I did try to take him to Publix, the grocery store, the other day, and she was like, "You just trying to pick up some bitches." I mean,
It happens.
come on, you know what I mean?
It happens
I mean, yeah. So no, we haven't done that yet. It hasn't even crossed my mind, honestly.
because you're recognizable. Like it like when people I didn't like what is it like with the moment when they first recognize you? How did that start feeling? Like and now you gotta
Yeah,
think about that feeling with you know what I mean? Because it's we know not everybody understands fucking boundaries,
yeah,
which is
absolutely
worse,
not.
which is the worst thing. And so, you're a father, you're a leader, you're a provider, you're a protector. So that protector part, when there's just strangers and shit, just like I'm like that
Yeah,
as
and I'm also not like I'm an asshole personality wise, but I'm not an asshole human. If that makes any type of sense. Like I'm very
yeah.
sarcastic. I'll joke and say
No,
little
no, I
asshole
get
things,
I
but
you know what
yeah,
I like that shit. That's some
yeah,
that's some asshole shit to think of too.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have an
how to
asshole
make yourself
personality,
sound
but
nice about some asshole shit. Like I
I'm
like
not
it.
an
I
asshole
like that.
human.
I am
So
not an asshole human. I just have asshole tendencies.
that's it. And when people walk up,
Yeah.
I've never been like, hey, back up, or no, not right now. Like I've never done that. And I'm not an A-list. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I knew it was getting crazy when during COVID, we outside with masks on and motherfuckers walking up like, "Hey, bro, I fuck with your video." I'm like, "Nigga, how can you even tell that it's me? Like,
Yeah.
this all you see." So yeah, I would never. My lady, she'll be more like,
Back up.
you need to tell them.
Yeah.
She'll tell me to tell them, like, you need to be an asshole right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I don't want to be, but
Yeah. You're
yeah,
gonna it's
nah,
gonna happen. You're gonna
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. It never even crossed my mind like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
People don't respect boundaries.
They don't.
It's fucked up.
They don't. But the beauty of it is we I mean, it don't really matter. I'm about to say we go to low key spots, but people still be in low key spots and they be there. But we try to go, you know, during the day when motherfuckers should be at work. Yeah, I
Think
don't know,
about it,
man.
man. It's because as they you pick up and drop off at daycare, everybody will
Yeah,
know you there. You start going to school. Like it ain't
yeah,
put it like this. You're not gonna become less famous. That's not the
yeah.
goal, right?
That's not the
The
goal.
goal is not the
Damn.
goal is not to be like, okay, we got this
Damn.
baby now. Let's fall the fuck off. Like, no, that's not the
Not the
trajectory
goal.
goes up. Yeah.
But see, now
And
we
you gonna roll
now we
with it.
looking at private daycares, and because I would
Yeah.
hate for a parent to, I might drop, because I'm very edgy with my stuff, so I might have offended somebody, and then we go, and then they run into daycare. I ain't even know that they had a problem with me, and I didn't there not letting this nigga eat Cheerios because they mad at me for some shit I said years ago. I ain't trying to let that happen, man.
So do you
That's
think as a parent, do you think that changes your content at all?
Yeah, I have been changing my content just a little bit. I haven't been as crazy. More so because like her mama and aunt, they be on my page and they be looking at shit now. But
I wonder if that would have been different if you had a daughter.
see, that's what I'm saying. But see, I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I think I'm just me, man, and I wouldn't want to change who I was for nobody. Like the same reason why she was willing to have a baby with me is the same because I am who I am. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm a very chill, laid back person. I think the most funniest shit to me is making fun of church stuff and making fun of gay stuff. That is the funniest shit to me, and that might come back to, you know, give me an ass, pause. But I mean, that shit is funny, man. Talking about titties is just funny. I like talking about stuff that everybody thinks about, but like they're afraid to talk about out loud. It's like when you look at my insights on some of my stuff, you see it barely gets the likes, but it'll get all the shares. They sending it. They want everybody. Hey, look at this. Look at this. I can't like it. I don't want everybody to see
You
I
can't let
like it,
nobody
but
know. Can't nobody
mm-mm.
know I like this type of shit.
Yeah, yeah. But look at it. Um, and then also it's like, I mean, I think that's a turn off. I think I'll be turned off if there was somebody who I was like, fucking with in their content and they just took their core away and just started giving me, I'm a parent, I'm a parent, I'm a parent. Now, granted,
Yeah.
you'll weed everybody out and bring in a new audience. But let me show people that you can
Parent
you
that
can
like
have that
titties.
balance. Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
He be on the titty.
How did
He
the
know what titties
goddamn
is.
babies get here?
Come on, man.
Like, what the fuck we talking about?
Come
What are we
on,
talking
man.
about?
Come
But
on.
before we get out of here, I do got to get you out of here with this last question. And this is one we ask everyone. What would you want your legacy to be as a father? And I know this is early for you. It's real early for you to think about. When it's all said and done, if you were just be gone, what would you want your son to think of?
What do I want my legacy to be? Man, that's a deep question. I told you I got two sisters, and I told you I got a younger brother. My brother does have a son that has his last name, but everybody else got different last names. And like I said, with me being the chosen one, I feel like I'm the chosen one out of my siblings just because of the type of success that I've had so far. I don't think people would have seen that come from where we come from, and people coming up to my siblings and my family talking about your brother doing his thing, like we're so proud of him. It's just like it's really a lot of love from me back up that way, so I know like everybody in my family's like proud, especially coming from a situation where my dad killed my mom and that whole tragedy that happened. But I think the fact that I have a son now that has my last name and he'll be able to carry on that legacy of just like my dad was great. Like my dad was great and I want to go and be great just like my dad. I think it's kind of hard to even say what I want him to become. He can do everything besides change his gender, and I will be happy and excited with that. That is that anything else is that, hey, we are good to go, man. And I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with, I don't have a problem with it's just, hey, this nigga is mine over here, and just be successful, man. Stay out of trouble. And I know you're gonna get into a little bit of trouble. You might, what's weed? Let me see what weed is. Let me drink a little bit. But as long
Yeah.
as you ain't harming nobody, man, don't harm nobody. be great in whatever you do, and we're gonna set him up for success. You know, what I mean, I'm 6 foot. His mama's 5'11", her daddy's 6'3". All my ladies, my family, 5'10". So you're gonna have the height. You can't even really be a woman if you wanted to because you're gonna stand out and it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, Bruce was a gold medalist.
Oh, that's true. And then Magic Johnson's son is tall too. That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, it ain't gonna matter. As long as I make enough money, then we're gonna be good and he can just be and do whatever he wanna do. But yeah, man, it's really too early, man. I just want him, like I said, just to, just be good, man. I want him to know that, his parents were good people and I was a good person. I don't think I've done anybody wrong. If I did, it was probably on some young shit and, I've learned from it. But just be a genuine person, man. People still be holding the door for the elders, carrying groceries to the car for people, complimenting, people. Just be a good person, like how it used to be, when I was growing up. Big shout out to my grandma just for raising me the way that I needed to be raised. At the time, I hated it because she ain't let me do half the shit that all my friends was doing because she raising me how she raised her kids back in the 70s and 80s, and, that shit wasn't really flying, but, I am thankful for that now. Yeah, man, just want him to be great, want him to be respectful, and, create some more Bankses so that way the legacy can continue.
Well, look, I can say this: the way your grandmother raised you, your friends, they couldn't do what you did. You couldn't do what they did. But right now, I'm pretty sure they're not able to do what you're doing now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's what they all got kids. All their kids is damn near seniors in high school right now,
yeah,
and
I don't
I'm
know if
just
that's good or
starting.
bad. That's why I say I don't know if that's good or bad.
They was having kids at 19, 20, 21, and
Yeah, I
20,
mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah. And then when you get older, you like, damn, maybe I should just fuck my life away and got that shit.
I couldn't imagine if I had a kid like back when I was like 22. I don't even know what that would look like.
I can't imagine the laws now were like they are now. Well, back then, yeah, I have a 26-year-old, so I'm
Oh,
glad. I'm
man,
glad.
I'm gonna be hitting you up. I'm gonna be hitting you after this. We about to be friends, bro.
Glad laws have yeah, laws have changed, but
So
they weren't changed back then. So again, I appreciate your time, man, and I would say good luck, but it's not going to be luck because the way you talked, the way you can hear it in your voice, like you're bound to be an amazing father.
appreciate
Um,
that
like you can anybody that listens to this, anybody that watches this can see it, like the actual passion in it. We throw jokes in there, but the real you can hear it, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
and it's real because we always have conversations about fatherhood, but we don't really talk about what it really means, what it really feels like. And so I appreciate you, taking the time and open up about your journey through fatherhood. And
for
I
sure.
appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, man, reaching out, man. That was dope, man. Very dope.
Episode of Just My Baby Daddy podcast. I know you like what you saw. So what I need for you to do is go back and look at past episodes. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page, Just My Baby Daddy Podcast. And you can follow us on all social media at Just My Baby Daddy Pod.